Look, if we have a VIP who's talking blah, 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 without a number, without a partnership, I don't want you. I need something to talk about. I need news. Whenever someone asked you for something to be off the record, you should respect him. That's it. Always put the big numbers in the front page. Let it be in the first sentence. This is what I care about.
What are the common mistakes you see Western companies are doing while entering the market?
Most of them, they treat the Middle East as a whole entity. And it's not, of course.
Welcome to Known, where tech brand builders share their journeys and teach you how to build your own. My name is Stella Fries.
And I'm Anastasia Kulibaba.
And we're your hosts for this episode.
Abdallah is an award-winning journalist. He is a finance reporter at CNN Business Arabic, focusing on crypto. He has been interviewing the most prominent figures in traditional finance and in Web3, but today we're interviewing him.
Let's dive in. Thank you so much, Abdallah, for being here with us. How are you today?
All good. Thanks for asking.
We know you as an award-winning reporter. You are working in CNN Business Arabic. You was working in Forbes Middle East. But I guess it's not the place where you started your career. So can you please go deeper into details about how you started?
Look, I started before journalism, because before journalism I was studying IT. And even before IT, I was studying business and banking. So a lot of majors. Before the journalism, I was working as an IT man with a company, an ex-company. And then since 2016, I started in my professional journalism job. And then I've been in 16, maybe 15 or 16 companies throughout my life until now.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, but I think the most fruitful experiences started in 2017.
Yes, actually, I wanted to ask you exactly about this. Coming back to what you said in the beginning about your career and risk-taking. So in 2017, you took a sabbatical, unpaid leave, you quit your job, and you wrote a book.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about this experience and how it shaped you today?
Yeah. I've mentioned the IT and the journalism and so many majors I've been into. But, since my childhood, I loved the poetry. I loved books. I have so many books, like thousands of books. Since my childhood also, I was a tech child. Like, you remember Windows 95 and Windows 98 and Windows XP? And I was, I think, 12 years old when I grabbed my case of my personal computer and crack it and open it. I was just curious. I want to know what's in
what's
this.
Inside, how it works.
What's running on my screen, but what's behind the scenes, if you want. And this is why I suddenly moved from the IT to journalism. Like, I think I just have 20 credits remaining to complete my major in IT, but I left it. I didn't take it. And I started studying journalism suddenly. It was my personal choice, because mixing between the poetry and the books, and then I was into politics also in Lebanon. I was an activist in Lebanon. So I saw that, I need to be a journalist, not an IT man, not even a banker or so on. In 2017, and this is, I think, the biggest financial challenge in my life, I said I'm going to leave or to quit my job, and no growth at all there. I want to quit. I want to publish my book. And it was my second book. That book wasn't about business or technology, or it wasn't anything like that. It was just poetry, but not the usual poetry. It was about my personal experiences, my beliefs, and so on.
It was a very intimate book.
It was a very tough decision. It was a very tough year. I was broke there at 2017. But it means a lot to me.
Any advice that you can give to some people that are going through the same experience or similar experience? Because I guess when you have two personalities, one from tech side and another one, you were mentioning that you're interested in poetry and like writing and so on. I think that these are two like personalities that are fighting inside you. It's hard, I can imagine. So, and you made this decision because IT at that time can sound like a big opportunity, like a lot of money. You could make a big career there, but you decided to go for your passion. So now we're sitting 10 years since that time, and you're here, we're podcasting you, meaning that you reached a lot in this direction as well. So what would be the advice that you will give to people that are just, switching maybe their career?
I think the best advice will be do whatever makes you happy. So don't fit in a comfortable zone. Don't just do what everyone told you to do. What is your passion? Ask yourself, what is your passion? What are your priorities? What makes you feel happy? Like, don't just do the work for the money. I know we all had some periods in our life that we just want to make some money, to just money to live. But it's not always about the money, especially when you're after your 30s, and I am after my 30s. It's not about money. It's about the passion. It's about what are you planning to leave for your children, for the people you love, and for everyone. Like, what are you going to leave in this earth after you leave? So just do whatever you feel makes you feel happy, gives you joy. Where is your passion? Just do it.
I wanted to tell a story about how we met. I was in Dubai for 1 or 2 weeks for a business trip, and I was looking for some reporters in the Middle East that I could meet with and make this connection. I think that I reached out to more than 10 journalists, and you were the one who responded to me, maybe out of 2 people who responded at that time. And it's very unique. We met back then in 2023. We had a good conversation, and since then we already cooperated on a lot of stories. You did amazing interview with Justin Sun, and now you're here. So I wanted to ask how this openness and readiness for new opportunities, for new connections, helped you to achieve your goals in your life.
Look, allow me here, because really for me as a journalist, this is a very important question. Whenever I'm dealing with APR, why I was one of the few reporters who replied to your message. First of all, and this is what makes sense and this is what matters to me. First of all, you were very respectful in your approach to me. Secondly, you were very professional. Like what? You asked me for a professional meeting. Can I come to your office to talk about 1, 2, 3? So yeah, this is the approach, the correct approach. Now, if you just go through my WhatsApp business, and you will see more than 20 messages unread. Why? Because you can't be, with all due respect to everyone, but you can't be a PR. You don't know me in personal at all. And from the first seconds you contacted me, you asked me, what about going for a lunch? What about going for a drink? First of all, your first approach with me must be very professional. This is when I'm dealing with PR or with any other person during my work, I'm dealing professionally, respectfully with every single person. And this is what made me reply to your message. Importance of his relationship with any PR. We can't do everything without you. You needed us. regarding the coverage, you need something to be covered, an event, an interview, or something like that. But at the same time, we needed the connections, right? I asked you about some top tier in the industry. You are my connection with Justin Sun to do that amazing interview. It was the only Arabic interview with Justin Sun until now. So I need you to, especially at that time, maybe now it's different. Like now I have, after 3 or 4 years here, I have my connections, all my connections. But during that time, I was new to Dubai. I needed the connections, I needed the links, I needed someone to help with that. I needed to fill my KPIs, That's it.
Okay, that's a bit too rational. I didn't expect it to be that direct, but of course it makes sense. I think that connections, it's everything that we need in every industry,
absolutely.
Honestly.
And I really like that you mentioned that PR people need journalists, and also journalists need PR, right?
Exactly.
We're working together
there
in harmony.
There is a mutual,
hopefully.
Harmony, and there is a mutual benefit for us.
Absolutely.
For us both.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to ask you more about the Middle East media landscape, because it's very competitive, yet you managed to get your voice heard and recognized over time. So how did you do this? How did you manage to, let's say, stand out in this very competitive landscape?
My answer here will be very short. The credibility, choosing very carefully my guests, with all due respect to the PR as a work, but a journalist shouldn't work as a PR. You got me? It's very different. So you can't, whenever you're doing a journalistic work, you have to do it from sources, with numbers, with facts, with scoops, with partnerships, strategic partnerships. But you can't do your content because you know someone and you want to cover that piece for him.
Right.
So this is where I differentiate myself from a lot
integrity.
of yes, exactly. The credibility, the integrity, catching the scoop in the right time, building the connections in the right time.
When you're a smaller company and you want PR, you usually are very much thinking about who will cover you, but not about journalists, but they're thinking about like media outlets. What are the names of the media outlets that will write about us?
Yes.
But when we interact with bigger companies, they're very, very interested in the name of the journalists who will be interviewing them, because they do their own research on who will ask their founders questions.
It happens a lot with me.
Yes, so I wanted to ask about this experience. I think that building personal brand that will look reputable is very important for journalists as well. So how do you manage this?
Whenever you met someone, not for the first time, second time, like first event I met him, second event it's closer now, third event, fourth event, there's a lot of events. You build the connection with him. Whenever someone asked you for something to be off the record, you should respect him. That's it. Just respect him. It's off the record. He trusted you and he told you about that. And in the industry where I was, in my industry, whenever someone told you something about crypto and he told you, please, this is off record, it's very critical. So you can't get it out. You keep it for yourself. If you respect him, if you respect the please, it's off the record, he will respect you. He will know that, this is someone reliable, this is someone trusted, credible, and after that, he will contact you. Now, all of them, they contacted me through my personal WhatsApp. I talked to them not only about work. So this is, I respected them, and now it's mutual. And this is what every journalist must do. This is from my point of view.
Okay, so basically I hear two things here. One is about the trust building, and respecting the secrecy within the relationship that you have with your potential guests. And the second thing that you said was also about events, right? Yeah. You mentioned several times, like making the connections in person. So if, let's say, you meet a young journalist, someone who wants to make it, which would be the thing on which you would recommend them to focus the most? Would it be speed, credibility, trust building, growing your network, finding the niche? Where to start?
look, regarding the speed, and this is my point of view. Speed, unless you're covering breaking news, yes, speed is the most important matter. I agree. Regardless of the breaking news, speed has nothing to do with the journalism. Nothing.
Interesting.
Yeah, because speed is just like, okay, if you're doing breaking news, you have to be the top one, the first one to show, or the first one on top of the Google page. Yeah, I agree. If it's not breaking news, speed means nothing. What means is your credibility. What means is your good research. What means is your fact checking. What means is your expert's opinion, in-depth content you're submitting to the people. This is what means. So yeah, I would go for the credibility. You mentioned the credibility. Yeah. I would go secondly for my own voice, my own branding, and yeah, the niche market comes after that. Because if you build the credibility, as I mentioned before, and then you have your own character as a journalist, yeah, someone will ask for you exactly to have an interview with him. And I will say that this is a scoop for you. This happened lately in December. Someone from the biggest leaders, I will be vague just to avoid that his name will be known. I will say that he's in the top 5 biggest crypto companies in the world. He refused to be in an interview while I was traveling to Beirut. I was traveling to Beirut in December. I asked him, okay, please, I will send someone else. I will not send any reporter. I will send my manager, my editor, my managing director. And he said, no, Abdallah, I prefer to make it with you. And I only have 4 hours here in Dubai. And then I'm going back to the US. So it's either with you or not. So this is what you built in the industry. This is what you built.
Are you planning to do that interview?
Let's see. Let's see.
Going back to something you said before about personal brand and kind of building your personal brand. So you yourself have a obviously pretty strong personal brand, and you've also been meeting very influential people, C-levels of huge companies, but also billionaires, people that you interview on a daily basis. Is there something that you would say is a common trait between these people? A common thing that you see within these leaders?
Of course, of course.
Which could be something developed by someone who wants to build a personal brand?
I would say first, the ambition. They are very ambitious people, all of them. And secondly, maybe the most of them, they're not coming from a wealthy or rich background. And this was really empowering, I think. A huge respect to that, a huge respect to them. I think many of them shared this. They're not coming from a rich or wealthy background. They are somehow poor. And they made themselves.
From rags to riches,
yes, from
kind
scratch,
of stories.
Exactly, from scratch.
I wanted to touch this interesting question coming from a lot of Western companies. They want to be presented in the Middle East in some way. So when they are entering the market, they obviously want visibility, they want awareness, and they want media coverage for themselves.
Yes.
What are the common mistakes you see Western companies are doing while entering the market?
I think not all of them, but most of them, they treat the Middle East as a whole entity. And it's not, of course. Mm-hmm. Gulf region is not like Lebanon or Syria or Iraq. And this region is not like Morocco or Algeria or... the Middle East is very different. Every single, even in one country, every single community is different from the other. You can't treat people in Dubai like you treat them in Sharjah, or like you treat them in Ajman, or like you treat them in Abu Dhabi. You have every single person, and out of respect, must be addressed in in his own way. You have to respect his culture. You have to respect his background. You have to know to do your own research. You know, we always say, Dior, do your own research. You have to do your own research before your approach to any community. And I think there is a lack in this. Yes, there is. Secondly, and excuse me to say that, but most of them, they underestimate the Arabic language media. If you're not CNN, if you're not CNN Arabic, if you're not CNBC Arabic, if you're not Bloomberg, Asharq Arabic, which is Arabic, they might not take you seriously, you know. But this is very wrong, because you might not know that the other media, Arabic language media, they have a lot of reach, they have a lot of audience, and the most important, they have the different audience that you might need to grow your career, to grow your company, to be more profitable, maybe to have more people like that. So this is very common also. They underestimate the rest of the Arabic language media. If it's not so well known, they don't approach to it, or maybe say they disrespect that journalist. And this is very wrong. Every single person is different from the other. What about the communities? What about a whole entity as itself?
Of course, yeah, it makes sense. I think that from the media perspective, from PR side, that I can add to it is that it seems to be very important to have at least an advisor who will advise you on the market that you're entering, right?
Definitely.
You need to understand the audience, the community, as you mentioned. And from media perspective, first is that understanding that the media landscape is not limited to the outlets that we know already, like the biggest ones that you've mentioned, because the media landscape in the Middle East, especially in the UAE as well, is very diverse. A lot of business media outlets that are speaking Arabic and English, but maybe Arabic is the first language.
Exactly.
Is then also some local news breaks, right? You can't build your company somewhere in Netherlands and then try to just apply this news to the local market.
The age of the audience is different, right?
A question to you as a journalist. Yeah. What are the top 3 elements that a story must have in order to grab your attention? Just trying to give tips for founders that might try to, want to pitch to you. Although you receive a lot of pitches every day, I know. What makes a story stand out to you?
What grabs my attention first is the big number. I am a finance reporter at the end, I always say that to my PR friends. Always put the big numbers in the front page. Let it be in the first sentence. This is what I care about. Like, the number is very important for me because I need a title. And the title with a number is different for the finance. So this is my priority. Strategic partnership, something new, scoop. And then the person himself. Because look, if we have a VIP who's talking blah, 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 without a number, without a partnership, I don't want you. I don't want you. I'm not a life coach. I need something to talk about. I need news. So if you're not a VIP, but you have a $1.5 billion strategic partnership with someone, I will take it, definitely.
Right.
This is $1.5 billion. It's a big number.
Right, okay.
Yes.
So you said the big number, strategic partnership, and VIP.
Yeah.
Is there ever a story that you didn't publish, although it could have been viral, but just because you didn't feel it was right, you still didn't publish it?
Of course. There is many stories. Yes, I will stop here. there is many stories. Yes.
Does it happen often?
Not so often, but yes, it happened a lot.
Have you ever interviewed someone and you were disagreed with them?
Yes, of course. A lot of them. Because if you're working daily in this industry, you will face a lot of issues and you will meet a lot of different people from different backgrounds. Like I've been in Brazil, I've been in China, I've been in Angola, Ethiopia. A lot of cultures, a lot of people, a lot of CEOs. They're different from each other, and you have to respect them. It's not my duty to agree with them. I'm doing the content. I'm just doing the content.
Right. Some people nowadays we all use X, Twitter, and a lot of news is shared there as well. Would you say that it's stealing the spotlight from traditional finance media?
Of course no. Of course no. It's not. Look, every person can have a Twitter account, but not everyone can just is like a reliable source or trusted source, right? Not every single person can do the fact checking, and in journalism, the fact checking is the most important. So accuracy is the most important factor in this news. Twitter is for everyone, but not everyone is expert, right? Everyone has his opinion.
Everyone believes that they're experts nowadays, unfortunately.
Yeah, but at the same time, I know that there is a lot of problems and so on in the traditional media. I agree with you. But at the end, they have an editorial team. They have fact-checking. Yeah. They have, at least they talk to experts and they grab their opinions. They bring their opinions to your table. In addition to that, their employees, it's so hard to be accepted in a job. It needs like 4 or 3 interviews with a lot of people. They should know, you have a background, you have the expertise. But Twitter is for everyone. With all due respect to everyone, but I can't grab the news from the Twitter.
But I'm interested to know, how do you see media landscape evolving into the next 5 years, let's say?
It's going down. Yeah, it's going down. It will not be as profitable as today, like it's not today as 5 years ago or 10 years ago. It will be, the media outlets will be running with less and fewer people. AI will be the dominant factor. I think the industry is going to have a lot of struggles in the next 5 years. But at the same time, I think that TV you put in your home will always be there for news. There will be always a place for news.
I agree. I also think that people will still consume content, of course.
Yes, of course.
And video content seems to be a very interesting way how to present something to people. So speaking about journalists, your colleagues, yourself, do you think that someone who is writing stories now, they need to switch to video content or learn more about it? Or how do you see maybe your personal changes, or what are the skills that you need to have in order to succeed in the nearest future as a reporter?
You have to be very smart, first of all, and you have to know that you have to find the connection between what really matters to the people and what matters to the to going viral. You have to find that connection between both. Like there's a lot of influencers now. There's a lot of video creators, content creators. Even journalists today are content creators somehow. Mm-hmm. So you have to differentiate yourself somehow. You can't just rely on that job. And I think, and it's really sad to say that, but as a journalist now, I can't rely for the future just on the media industry, I'm really thinking, not from now, like years ago, I'm thinking about creating my own work, my own brand, my own product. Media industry is going to be very hard and very selective, and and not as profitable as it is today.
Right. I think that several journalists also kind of reach the same conclusion that building your personal brand nowadays is not anymore optional. It's extremely important because this will make you less replaceable.
Being known, I think you have to use it there and the good for the other people.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And now for the last part of the interview, we're going to be asking you some flash questions. So rapid questions, don't think, just answer. You have to pick one option. Anastasia will do it.
So let's go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Credibility or reach?
Of course, credibility.
Speed or depth?
Depth, of course.
Journalists or influencers?
Journalists, definitely.
The person you dream to interview?
Oh, I just did it. Look, in 2019, my dream was... Even I don't like to say my dream in journalist. I set targets, but really in 2019, my dream was to meet or to interview Carlos Ghosn, the ex-CEO for Nissan, Mitsubishi and Renault Alliance. And I did it, and it went viral, and I'm really happy for this interview.
Amazing. What was the one insight that you can share from that interview?
There is a lot, but I will share that, and it's very local, maybe it's very private what he said here, and he believes in our country, he believes in Lebanon, although Lebanon is in very bad shape and in very bad situation today, but I got the hope from him. He believes in this country, and in his opinion, we're going to be better, inshallah, in the future.
Thank you, inshallah. What price will Bitcoin reach by the end of the year?
Look, in the next hype, we're going to surpass the last all-time high. So I think we're going to see the 130K, 135K before June. Regarding the end of the year, we will see the 180, 190K, but I think there will be some correction, and we will close the year on maybe like a small or a short correction. We will end the year with 160, 165K for Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not financial advice, no? Cool. Personal brand or newsroom brand?
Newsroom is something very big for me in my life, but at the same time, after the 30, yes, personal brand is what matters. I think this is really important now for me. It's a mix of both.
Being early or being right?
Being early with being wrong is not that good, right? So definitely being right.
Okay. And $10 million or 10 million subscribers?
Of course, not 10 million subscribers. It's $10 million, and I will make another $10 million out of them while trading. But if you just, if not this or not this, give me just 10 million kilograms of happiness. I will use them throughout my life. So it will be great.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Abdallah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this episode and for the invitation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
This was known by Input Global. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for more.